Morning, folks, and a very warm welcome to this edition of the podcast. We are catching back after a hiatus of 2 to 3 weeks, and a lot has happened, Sunil, mostly on the negative side for gold, but lately also on the positive side. So I think we have a lot to catch up on. But before that, Sunil, you attended the conference in Dubai. Could you give us some insights into what was the discussions in this conference, who were the participants, and what is the general momentum in the markets regarding gold?
So the conference in Dubai was the Dubai Precious Metals Conference. Just to give you an indication of the bullishness in the market, they had a record attendance. I think they're talking about 900 people attended the conference. What I was hearing from people was that there has been over the last 6 months or so, more accumulation of gold holdings, largely physical gold holdings by people in family offices, high net worth individuals, and some institutions. The fear trade that's driving gold, one could get that sense from Dubai. What could see is that they doesn't seem to be that much of a pullback in terms of demand expected. So it's not as if people are looking to take profit at 2,700 or so. I think people who are bullish will continue to accumulate. There were talks about 2,800, 3,000, etc. During the conference. So largely the mood was bullish. There was discussions and even subsequently an announcement in Hong Kong about how the vaults in Hong Kong are full, and the government is looking at increasing the size of the vaults at the airport. That holding is about 150 tons, the vault holding, and they want to increase it to 50 tons. So I think you can get a sense of what the mood is. People are buying physical in terms of investment demand, and people are continuing to look at higher levels.
Thanks, Sunil. Let's quickly look at the technical outlook and see what we
Sure.
have for this week. So, firstly, Sunil, just a few observations. We've seen gold rebound right from 2550 to all the way to 2700. This $150 rebound is the largest rally that we've seen in gold since October of 2023. We don't see something similarly happen in silver. It's a very moderate pullback from the lows that we've seen in silver after this doji candlestick was formed. Silver is still trending somewhere around 31.5 levels. So what we infer from this move in gold is purely safe haven demand is driving this rally in gold. And even this possible retracement that you see is because the dollar index is also seeing a little bit of a retracement from the highs that were seen on Friday. It is not normal to see both risk on and risk off asset classes moving in the same direction, but we're in a slightly peculiar situation here where both gold and the US dollar are moving exactly in the same direction. Where we have our stops and targets placed, we have the first support at 2640. After this move today early in the morning, the 2686 pivot has been breached, and this is a strong sign that there might be a little bit of consolidation in the metal. So the most likely trajectory for the metal is probably to test this 2640 support in the near term. Following 2640, we definitely have a stronger support at 2600, where we would expect gold to hold. If it does hold above 2600, we would see a floor being formed or this ascending trend line being formed, where this was the earlier point of support, and now the support has shifted slightly higher, creating a higher low, and that would kind of give gold a little bit of a base to then climb back once again as it traverses and hits 2750, 2800. On the upside, we are probably expecting that, let's say, if it does move low to 2640, there is a rebound and there is a gradual ascent to 2723. But economic indicators this week will kind of dictate that. You have on Wednesday, or rather on Tuesday night, India time, you have the FOMC minutes releasing. This would be key. You also have GDP data as well from the US that's coming in. So the GDP data, if it shows any signs of weakness, gold is definitely going to get a boost. In terms of silver, we are in a bullish uptrend. You see this blue ascending trend line and silver respecting this trend line. So that's the first indication that is still bullish from a long-term perspective. Right now, we've seen that 29.7 is the floor. Right now, this is acting as the support. You've seen this formation of a head and shoulders pattern where you have a left shoulder, you have a head, and the possible formation of a right shoulder. So the path of least resistance for silver is on the upside. I would expect after this retracement for the metal to gradually head and test this 31.7 resistance once again, or the 32 level over here. And depending on how the data shapes up and how the interest rate projections shape up, we might either see a break above this 31.7, 32 area, or we might see again a pullback. It's still in a wait and watch scenario right now for gold and silver. We're seeing how the US dollar index is performing, and we're trying to understand how gold and silver is possibly going to react to such moves. So still a lot of gauging and speculation that's happening in the markets currently, and you're seeing the markets react to that largely. Thanks, Sunil. Let's look forward to some of these data points that are coming out this week. Thank you so much, Sunil. Goodbye.